Birmingham Mayor William Bell is our first guest tonight to talk about what's happening in our community and what's being done to help people. And Mayor Bell, thank you for coming in for this special.
Yes.
This has really touched, I think, a nerve with people who thought domestic violence is not my problem.
Exactly. I just came from a prayer vigil at the First United Methodist Church, in which the family are members of that church. And you know, the pastor put it very succinctly that when he first heard it, he didn't realize that he knew the family. And you said, oh my goodness, there's someone who's been murdered. But once you know, once you put a face and a name and you understand the impact that it has, not only on that family, but those who love that family and are part of that family's life, it extends to deeply in your heart. And we've got to do more to try to intervene in situations like that.
We know for the city, you guys announced a family justice center today.
Yes.
What's the significance of having all of those resources in one place?
Well, right now, if you're in a situation where you're a victim of domestic violence or you fear domestic violence, you have to go to several different places to get the type of help that you want. And sometimes it becomes frustrating and people may not go through all of the process or might just say, well, it's not worth it, maybe it'll pass. Well, now you have one place, one location that you can go to get the help that you need, both legally and support-wise. And we've been working on this for some time now, but we felt the need to speed this process up because it's happening with too much frequency. In Jefferson County alone, there's been 12 domestic violence murders, and throughout the state there's been about 24, 25. And we felt that this was just so heinous in the way that it happened and the fact that children were involved in it, that we felt that we needed to speed that process up to get the kind of help that we need out there. But more importantly, we also feel that there's a need to have some type of summit where we bring all of the organizations together who in the past have been actively involved to see if we're doing all that we can do, maybe there's something else we can do that we have not come up with. And by bringing all these entities together, we can look at it in depth.
That's what we wondered, and that's why we wanted to do this special report to see what are we missing as a community, because we see things that seem to escalate to a point that when you look at it in hindsight, it's like you can see it build on the paperwork. And it's where can the intervention happen for the victims? We know that there have been a number of children affected by seeing their mothers murdered this year. And for law enforcement and the court system, where do we need more intervention to save lives?
Well, in hindsight, it becomes very clear that there were points along the way that someone should have said something. But as you go through that process, many people say, oh, well, you know, maybe they a little rough language or a little of this, a little of that. And but those little moments add up to big moments, and sometimes they reach a boiling point or a breaking point where when it happens, people say, well, we should have said something a long time ago. So we got to look at what those points of intervention should be and can be, and then educate the public on it. Because a lot of times we say, well, we don't want to get involved in somebody's family affairs. Well, that family means so much to the community, and it's up to the community to speak up and speak out to get the type of help and the support, not just for the victim, but the perpetrator as well. Maybe they need some type of intervention to pull them aside, to put them in some type of program to see if we can modify their behavior.
And coming up a little later, we will hear from someone who does exactly that, working with the aggressors. Mayor Bell, this will be my final question because we want people to know that they are not alone. It's not enough for all of us to stand up and say no more. What would you say to someone who's sitting out there right now who knows of someone who's in that situation or is in that situation themselves?
I would tell them to speak up and speak out, not only to speak to the potential victim of domestic violence, but we have a domestic violence counselor within our police department. If you have doubts, call our police department, give us the information, and let us go in and send someone in a non-threatening manner, but to just go and ask the victim a few questions to see if there's time for us to have some type of intervention. We can't get involved if we don't know about it. And so we want to create avenues that someone who maybe not a family member but a friend that knows that something's going on, to give them the opportunity to let us know so that we can step in.
So we can all make a difference. Mayor Bell, thank you. We're going to go to a break right now and show you a phone number that you can call to get more information, or if you are in a crisis situation right now, you can call that number. It's a 24-hour hotline.